What are your thoughts on Tank?
I love Tank Abbott, man. I think I used the term "salt of the earth" earlier. Um, Always love Tank. And we've been drinking many times together. Years ago was the last time. Um, I booked Tank to fight in Hawaii, and I was there in his corner when he knocked out Cabbage. I love Cabbage also, by the way. He's a really cool guy, Wes Carrera. Booked Tank to fight in England against Gary Turner on about 2 days' notice after Bob Sapp dropped out. Was in England with Tank for that one. I booked him to fight Yoshida at Pride in Japan. Here is a perfect Tank Abbott story. So back in those days, I had all these different divisions of Ultimate, Ultimate Pro Wrestling, Ultimate University, Ultimate Management, and all, the money for jobs would all funnel into the company. We would deduct if it was a management deal, we deduct our 10% and then pay the 90% to the client. Tank is the only guy who would not let me or did not want me to collect the money to the company first. He all wanted to go to him, then he would pay from there. So he goes to Japan to fight Yoshida. So one fight I booked for him that I did not actually go at myself. And it was a big payday for those times. It was $110,000. That was a very big payday for back then. That number I remember because of the story that I'm going to tell you. So Tank comes back and he lost a fight, whatever. He never cared about winning and losing. And in his case, it really didn't matter. It was more about who the character was, although a very tough guy, as you know. He comes back. He's like, hey, good trip. Thank you. They said they'll send the money in a few days. So, I'll let you know when it's here. Like, okay. So I get a call the next day. He goes, hey, man, you won't believe it. The money already showed up. He's like, I want to get you your commission. I'm like, cool. He's like, so you got Tank Abbott now, big star, who's got, my $11,000 calling me to let me know he has it. And he goes, hey, I'm going to make it easy on you. We're going to the San Diego Wild Animal Park. We're going to go right by your office. So I'll just drop it off to you. So on top of everything else, he's offering to drop the money to me. I'm like, this is pretty cool, right? So a couple hours goes by and there's no Tank. So I call him and Tank is fucking twisted. Oh my God, could Tank drink? He's like, oh dude, I'm so sorry. We started drinking in the car and I just forgot. He goes, he goes, dude, I'll get it to you tomorrow, unless you want to come to the animal park. I'm like, oh boy, I'm in San Clemente. I'm like, it's an hour plus there. I'm like, but it's $11,000 plus maybe it'd be fun. So I'm like, sure. I go, but Dave, I go, what if I get there and like you're drunk, you don't answer the phone? He goes, Rick, I'll answer the phone. I'm like, okay. Get in the car. Oh, here's Eddie. Hands it off to Eddie Ruiz, one of his guys. Eddie's like, oh yeah, meet me outside. Okay. So I go to the front. Eddie's standing in there. He's got a ticket. They bought a ticket for me to go in the park. Hands me the ticket. I'm like, okay. They're all at a pavilion, one of the snack pavilions. They have the big plastic cups, like the rubber animal heads on top of them. Dave has an elephant cup. I'll always remember this. He used to call himself an elephant that never forgets. That guy's mind is like a steel trap, man. Talk about a guy who surprised everybody's expectation, who they think he is, because I've called a lot of people super smart. This guy's super smart, very intelligent. He had the elephant head. So I get there. He's like, Rick, hey, man. He goes, you want your money? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay, first you got to drink this. And he slams a cup down with another rubber head on it. And I look at the drink and I open it up. Well, he used to drink, well known for people that ever drank with him, giant glass of vodka with a tiny splash of cranberry. So that's what this drink is in a cup this big. He goes, okay, you want the money? You got to drink the whole thing. I'm not a vodka drinker, but I drank it. It took a while. And he's like, okay, let's see. He opens it, pours it upside down. He's like, okay. He goes, I'm satisfied. Reaches in pocket, hands me $11,000 cash. I'm like, cool, man, thanks. How the hell am I supposed to drive home now, though? He goes, that's why we bought you the ticket. Hung out at the animal park the rest of the day with Tank. That's very typical Tank Abbott right there.
Getting drunk at an animal park. So is this like a zoo?
It was like a theme park where you drive around in little carts and look at different animal exhibits. Not exactly a zoo. Kinda, sorta,
This
quasi zoo, I
just
guess you
sounds
would
like
say.
quite a day. That
Typical Tank, man. Yeah, great dude. Love Tank Abbott.
I would put Tank, and I would consider him a wrestler because he was a wrestler in the top 10 nicest wrestlers that I've
Oh,
ever
wow.
met.
Wow, okay, glad to hear you had that experience with him.